Welcome to Everything is Everything, where we keep everything real. Today I got my boy JLee with me, JLee, Valdosta High School head basketball coach, counselor, mentor, role model, all of the above, man. How you doing today?
I'm good, right? How you doing?
Good, man. I guess we'll jump right into it. So, like I said, you're a role model, man. You've been a role model for me since 2015. You've been a role model to a lot of people. I talked to some of your players today. They say you're one of the best role models they could ever ask for, man. Who were your role models growing up?
First of all, my granddad, you know what I'm saying, that was, and he was at the game. I don't know whether you saw him. He was sitting in the bleachers today. He's somebody who, poured into me from day one. You know what I'm saying? I can, every practice, every game, he was always my biggest fan. He's real soft-spoken, not like me, but he's always giving me that support without having to say anything. He was just there, and so from a very early age, I took a lot from him, observed him, watched him. Of course, we had a lot of deep conversations. So that's first and foremost somebody who's touched my life heavily. My uncle, my mom's younger brother, he's 13 years older than me. I spent a lot of time. I grew up with my mom every day, but I also spent a whole lot of time with my grandparents. So I lived with my grandparents for a little bit. I saw my mom all the time, but my uncle also stayed in the house for a while before he graduated high school and then ultimately went to college and everything, so he was also played a really pivotal role in my life. He was kind of like a big brother to me. He actually just get pissed off at me, what I'm saying, because I treat him like a big brother instead of uncle, but he's family man, what I'm saying, always made the right decisions, done the right things. He always kept it real with me. My dad also, since I've been in my career and graduated college, we've had a amazing relationship. He's been really good and helped me professionally, connected some dots for me. And I'd be remiss to say, to be completely honest, my LB, Quan Austin, he's one of my biggest role models too. What I'm saying? He's always been an overachiever. What I'm saying? He was really one of the first people who truly showed me, like, as far as Kappa, like, outside of just being a noob, but in life, achievement is a lifestyle. What I'm saying? It's something that you do each and every day. So him, Durante Cuts was big for me. What I'm saying? Teaching me business acumen and bringing something inside of me that I never really knew was there. So those are just some people off the top that I can say definitely played a huge role in my life.
Man, that's crazy because my grandfather, my father, and my uncle were my three role models growing up before I got to school and everything like that and before I started making my own path. So that's crazy to say. And my grandfather's soft-spoken too. What I'm saying? He don't say too much. He's not really like the affectionate type or man with too many words unless my grandma was making him mad or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then I lost my uncle and my father, both actually. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. So transition from there to your life as a counselor. Did you always want to be a counselor?
Nah, that fell in my lap, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like just being real, bro. Like, me becoming a school counselor happened my last semester of undergrad. Just being 100% honest, like I never considered being a counselor. My whole life, I felt like I was gonna be a professional athlete, but I always said that, if I wasn't, I was gonna be a coach, so this was something that from high school, what I'm saying, it was always my plan, and so I always knew to be a coach, you gotta be a teacher, what I'm saying, you gotta teach something, you gotta coach something, whatever, so I obtained my undergrad degree was in middle grades education to be a teacher, and during my student teaching, bro, I had a couple issues, situations that occurred, what I'm saying, and it highlighted the school counselor. And I talked to a counselor just on, like, dead at randomly. We were on a field trip with the sixth graders, and the teachers wanted Chick-fil-A. So me and the counselor walked to get Chick-fil-A, and we got to chopping it up. And I remember like it was yesterday. He told me, I said, how you get to be a counselor? What I'm saying? Like, what pushed you to that? And he said, man, the biggest thing with me being a counselor is I feel like I'm the kid's last hope. When the teachers give up on them, when their parents giving up on them, I'm the person that I still got to fight for them. I'm kind of the last leg to stand on, so that always stood out to me because I never really experienced my school counselor, what I'm saying, in school and everything other than, signing up for the SAT or whatever, so I saw with him, like, school counselors really have a profound impact on kids, and that was really stemming from that conversation. I also knew within teaching, it was some things I didn't like, what I'm saying, I felt like I didn't have enough power as a teacher. I felt like too many people made decisions for me, and so that's kind of what drove me to being a counselor, and it's the best decision I ever made. Like, and I tell people that every day, Shout out to Dr. Calvin Walker. He one of my other role models I forgot to mention, but he was the African American Studies director at VSU. And I was an AFAM minor, and I went to him and talked to him a little bit, and he offered me a graduate assistantship. So I was able to go to school for free. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I didn't want to teach because I knew, like I said, I didn't feel like it was enough power in that to really make a difference. So I went and got the school counseling master's degree through my graduate assistantship at VSU and AFAM, and man, that, like I said, it's honestly the best decision I've ever made.
I don't know if you realize it, but you've carved a pathway for a lot of people. So, like, you actually talked to me about doing the school counseling program when Miss Katrina helped me get my first graduate program or whatever. You started talking to me about that. And even with Quavo, you talked to me and Quavo, you put us in the group chat. I don't know if you remember when you coaching the summer league basketball that one summer. And Quavo took the opportunity to help you coach or whatnot, and now he's coaching with you or whatever. But you kind of carved those pathways for people, so it's kind of cool to see that. Have you seen any of the things that you learned from those role models come into fruition with your role as a counselor?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what with me, bro. I've always been the type person as a leader. And I've always seen myself as such. I don't feel like you can be a true leader unless you invest in others. And helping them to obtain leadership. Also, the true measure of a man is not what you can do for yourself, but what you can do for others. So I've always been the type of person to want to put my people in positions to be successful, and that was one of the things that I talked about because he saw some of me, honestly, super early on in college that I didn't know was there. Like a lot of people knew me in college, because I was a promoter, and I hated the club, bro. Like I'm a total introvert. Like a lot of people don't believe that, but I'm super shy, and so I'll never forget the day he asked me to join the promo team and kind of work under him. I said, bro, I hate the club. Like, why would I do that? And he was like, you like money, right? I was like, yeah. He said, well, shit, that's all that matters. He said, you gotta like the club. It's a business, and so from there, he taught me, like, in life, sometimes you have to take a road to get to really where you want to get to. You may not want to go down this path, but sometimes it'll lead you to exactly where you're supposed to be, and so, he put that in me early, and so just, I didn't feel like I had done anything to deserve, being his right hand man, anything like that. But he just, he was like, man, you my young boy, someone put you on, and so from there, I've always, and not just from there, but high school too. I've always been the type of person, I'm gonna show love to my people. I feel like that's how you get love in return. So, and kind of bringing that back around, as a counselor, as a coach, you can only be as tough on a kid as much as you love them. So I know you saw me today, and I really lay into my kids. I let them hear it and let them have it. But they know at the end of the day, it's all love. Like I know you saw the little birthday party I did from a manager. It's just like stuff like that, man. Like his mom passed earlier this year. And so he's somebody who I really try to. He graduated. He's not actually a student. But it's somebody who just, I feel like, they need love in their life, so I'm always try to look out. And that's one of the things, like I said, I kind of got that from Cuts, man. Just, but put your people on, put them in position, and whatever they do with that position is on them, but that, you're trying to help, further and progress people, so that's just one thing I definitely give him credit for, is, always, put your people in position to be successful, and hopefully they, take heed.
Yeah. You mentioned that you never really saw yourself as a counselor before it fell in your lap. What was one of the hardest things that you had to do to transition into this role as a counselor?
Honestly, it's really me as a person. I've always, not always been a counselor, but I've always been like that big brother type. I'm very opinionated, so
very.
So folks always come to me like, bro, like, whatever, so I've always kind of been in that kind of guidance role, for a lot of people, and that's kind of just what I do every day now, so like people say, bro, like when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, so I really enjoy my job because it's me, so when I was a graduate assistant with AFAM, I was an academic advisor, and right. It was kind of a similar thing. I would have folks come in like, bro, you better than my real advisor. It's just, I kind of, like I said, I enjoy being able to help people. And so as a counselor, man, it's really an opportunity for me to make impact on kids' lives at a totally different level than I can as a teacher. You know what I'm saying? As a teacher, you know, you got 30 kids in the classroom. You know, it's easy to overlook that kid in the back, you know what I'm saying, who going through something at home, and you just feel like, oh, well, they just on BS, or, you know what I'm saying, they not interested in school and whatever, you know. But with me as a counselor, I can say, okay, why has this kid not passed English in 3 years or math in 4 years? I'm able to deep dive and really, you know what I'm saying, get to issues that as a teacher, you just honestly, it's easy to overlook because you're dealing with so many kids, you know. And I have I'm responsible for the whole freshman class, which for us is on average been about 550 kids to 600. But, you know, I'm really passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? So I really take pride in being able to make a real impact. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, teaching is not, because obviously it is, you know, teaching is the backbone of our society. You know, right. Teachers, man, they're very underpaid and underappreciated, you know. But as a counselor, I'm able to really get into some real life, like, see what these kids are really going through at home, and some real trauma, and helping kids deal with that. And, you know, it's really been it's been rewarding for me.
Without getting into too much, is there a story that you could tell of a kid that touched your life since you've been a counselor?
Yeah. I go back, honestly, bro, like my first year, if I once I made it out of my first year, I knew I was gonna be good. Because my first year counseling was, and even, you know, so my coworkers, like, they like, bro, we didn't think you was coming back. Like my first week, you know, we've been in this school now, going on 6 years. My first week, we had somebody pass in the lobby from a heart attack.
A student?
No, a worker.
Okay.
So this is my first week on the job. I saw somebody pass. So I'm like, bro, like, this how I'm starting off. You know what I'm saying? Like, this kind of heavy. You know what I'm saying? And so, so just that whole first year, it was crazy, you know. But I had one student in particular, man. She was suicidal. You know, she had attempted suicide multiple times prior to high school. And mind you, I deal with ninth graders, you know. So she dealt with suicidal ideations and attempts, you know, multiple times throughout middle school. And she really lived in my office. Not lived, but like she was what I call a frequent flyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to tell her, like, you can't come down here every day. You know what I'm saying? I got to open door policy, but you avoiding at this point. Like, you know, we gonna work it out, whatever we going through, you know, whatever. You know, but man, it was crazy. You know, one day she went to the gym and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna jump from the second floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of a constant thing of her battling suicidal ideation, you know. And so ultimately, you know, I worked with her, and I got her some friends. You know what I'm saying? I found her a friend group. You know, and with me having to deal with so many kids, you know, I kind of can see, well, I think y'all would be cool together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, so I called the kid down. I was like, do y'all know each other? They're like, nah, you know, so I introduced them. And it's crazy. They ended up being best friends the next 4 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they really they hit it off, you know. And so she graduated, Brandon, and she wrote me a letter, you know what I'm saying? And she told me that she really felt like I saved her life because I took the time to listen to her. I didn't brush her off, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of people in her life did. I didn't just, you know, say, oh, well, you're doing this for attention. You know, I really took the time to listen to her and find out, you know, what she was dealing with. And bro, it really, like, I cried. I ain't gonna lie, you know, I'm an emotional guy. You know what I'm saying? So I cried, bro, you know, because it, like I said, being an educator sometimes, it's a very unrewarding job. You know what I'm saying? And people don't appreciate the grind that we go through every day. You know, so when you have somebody who, especially at a young age like that, you know, to really reach out and say those things that she said to me, man, it was really it was heart touching, you know, and it made me feel like, regardless of how tough it is, you know, how heavy it gets, because I take a lot of this home, you know what I'm saying, it's worth it, you know, because you, like I said, you're really able to impact lives at a different level, you know. So shout out to her, because she made me feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's worth it. And I got the card up here, you know, I keep my cards, but hers is over here, you know. So yeah.
So you just said something interesting. You said you take it home with you.
Yeah.
How does that work now that you're married, man? Like, because I have no idea about marriage. I've experienced a lot of divorce in my life. Like, my parents got divorced, my brothers got divorced, my cousins got divorced. Like, all I know is divorce. And you're saying you take some of that weight home with you. How does that work?
So, to be honest with you, bro, I'm obsessive.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm obsessive, you know, and it can be a plus, because it's one of the reasons why I'm so successful at a lot of things I try to do, because I'm gonna push until I am successful. You know what I'm saying? I don't really take failure well, you know. So It's hard. It's hard because if I meet with a kid, and he ain't doing no schoolwork and the teacher said not, and that's why I love where I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a low SES neighborhood. Low SES population. I'm my demographic here, and I get to deal with a lot of kids. Father not at home. You know what I'm saying? Getting raised by their grandparents. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what to do, and so I take on a lot of that. And so sometimes you get those who just, bro, you know what I'm saying? He on what he on. And as a black man, though, the thing that kind of I know has helped me is they look at me like bro, really feel like he can feel what I'm going through. So I tell him, bro, when that door closed, we talk about what we talk about. You know what I'm saying? And we have real conversations. Like I had a mentee who he was like, "Yeah, Miss Lee, bro, like my old lady pregnant. What I need to do?" So it get real. You know what I'm saying? But I've grown to learn, and my principal had to really tell me, like, bro, you got to realize you can't save them all. She said, I love that you feel like you can, and I love that you try to. And that's why you are who you are, and that's why I value the way I do. But you can't, or you're going to burn out. Because at the end of the day, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so much we can do because I can't go home with you. I can't take you home with me. So I've learned to compartmentalize. I try not to take it home as much. And with the coaching, it's kind of OD now because I'm watching film 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I ain't sleeping, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, But, my wife understands that for me, I'm very passionate about everything I do. So if I'm doing something, I'm locked in. And so I try my best to separate it, and especially the counseling part, because that can get heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, these kids go through a lot. You know what I'm saying? As adults, we feel like, man, we be, so that's one of the things that helps me because, bro, these kids go through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff we could never fathom. You know what I'm saying? Don't have soap, don't have washing detergent. You know what I'm saying? Like, et cetera. I like, bro, these kids go through a lot. So that's one thing that keeps me grounded in my everyday life and understanding that, bro, we blessed. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how hard it is, it's always somebody that's going through something harder. So that keeps me going. So like I said, I try to compartmentalize. When I have a heavy day at work. You know what I'm saying? I'm a wine guy now. You know what I'm saying? Not the lick. I rock with the Lobos. You know what I'm saying, bro? My guy. So I'm gonna be on the Lobos when I'm having a good time. But I'm a red wine type of guy.
Sit back and twiddle your toes, drink some wine.
Sit back, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like my old lady, bro. She loves I call it trauma porn. You know what I'm saying? Like the serial killer documentaries and
porn.
That's what I call it, like trauma porn. I'm like, bro, I get enough trauma 8 to 3:30. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned, bro, like anytime I'm at the crib, I'm watching something funny, you know what I'm saying, comedy,
That's interesting.
Sit back and relax.
So you can't watch First 48?
Nah, bro, my day heavy enough.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like my day heavy enough. I hate, like I said, it's like the stuff that we see on Netflix, like I don't know, like Abducted in Plain Sight. Have you ever seen that documentary?
Yeah.
Like, it's intriguing to me, but I'm like, bro, I see this kind of stuff every day. You know what I'm saying? So I can't, so that's just like self-care, self-management. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I try to keep things light when I go home and try not to take it with me. But when it comes to that ball, bro, that's going to be at the crib with me every night. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I know you've always loved basketball. You said you've always wanted to be a head coach. I saw you when you started on the coaching staff, and I see you now as a head coach. How was that transition? Like, did that fall in your lap too? Was that something you were actively going after?
No, that's something I had to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, with me, I coach 7A, you know what I'm saying, which is the biggest classification in Georgia. And, bro, I'm one of the youngest coaches in the state, so it's a lot that comes with it. Valdosta High School has a huge name.
Stigma that comes with
it. So it's a lot that comes with it, so that's something I had to grind for. You know what I'm saying? This for me is year 10 coaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm 31 and I've been coaching 10 years.
Damn, it's been that long?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, man, my first couple years, my first 2 years coaching, I coached for free. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, bro, when you want something to sacrifice, you got to be willing to make. So my first 2 years, I coached free. I was driving equipment, you know what I'm saying, 35 miles every day, you know what I'm saying, to get it in and get that experience. And, shout out to Will Lewis, who our pro fight bus, so he gave my first opportunity, bro, and I hit the ground running. And, in this journey, I've learned that God's timing is always the best, and what we think for us may not be for us. He's always got something bigger, and so I had an opportunity when my first opportunity to become a head coach. I didn't get an interview from a school that I feel like I should have, and I took it personally. But I grinded the next 4 years, and one of my mentors, Antonio Haynes, I just talked about him the other day on Facebook. He told me, he said, man, the next time the job come open, he said, put your head down, keep your nose clean, and grind. You know what I'm saying? Learn as much as you can and do as much as you can, so that when your opportunity comes, you're prepared. And so for the past 4 years, past 3 before I got the head coaching job, like I was acting as a head coach in everything I did every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm the first person practice. I'm the last on the lead. I'm doing all the skill work. I'm doing the cleaning, learning, the scouting, watching film. I was moving as a head coach so that once that moment came, it wasn't too big for me. Right. And so it was definitely a journey. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that was given to me easily. I beat out some state championship winning coaches to get this job. I beat out some, 15, 20-year coaches to get this job, but at the end of the day, I proved, and I have proven that we played for a regional championship this past year, went to the Sweet 16. We beat IMG last week, which is a national power, so the fruits of my labor definitely paying off. It's just, it's a grind, and you got to understand that it's going to be that. It's no elevator to the top. You got to take the stair. So for me, it was a good grind. But it's paying off.
So I know a lot of people that want to be coaches. Like a lot of people aspire to be that head coach or whatever, and they might know the game well, but they might not know what else comes with being a head coach. What's one thing that I don't want to say caught you off guard, because I know you're a prepared person, but one thing that you had to shift your focus to kind of maintain once you got that role?
To be honest, money. You know what I'm saying? Money is huge. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like I said, coming out of college, being promoted and all that, I understand, one, how to go get it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't really see the financial part of being a coach, but when you run a athletic program, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? This is a business that you're running. It takes thousands of dollars to make this go. So especially when you're looking at a program like us on a 7A level, we've been to Orlando, we've been to Gainesville, we've been up to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We, this year we're going down to Fort Lauderdale. Like and I do it that way so that my kids get proper exposure, but right. It takes thousands of dollars to make that happen. So understanding the business side of running a program. A lot of people feel like I coach a basketball team. No. I run a program. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to finances, when it comes to strength and conditioning, when it comes to academics, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to, all of these fundraising, all of these different things, exposure for my kids, it's holistic. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like it's just the basketball and X's and O's, but in reality, that's the easy part. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your game plan, you watch your film, that's the easy part. The hard part is how I'm gonna make sure it's $10,000 in that bank account. You know what I'm saying? So I can feed them when we go on the road, and we can stay in the Marriott and the Hilton, because I got to stay too. You know what I'm saying? so when we went down to Orlando, like, bro, we stayed at the Renaissance right next to Millennium Mall. You know what I'm saying? Like, brand new. You know what I'm saying?
I know the kids was like, wow.
Yeah, but for me, bro, that's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these kids, like I say, bro, their parents can't vacation. You know what I'm saying? They can't go
outside of our
exactly. So when we go, we go. You know what I'm saying? We ain't stop. We eat Raisin Canes, and we eat crumble cookie.
You gonna eat when
you know what I'm saying? So exactly. You already know. So, but for me, bro, it's exposure, not only as far as basketball, but for life. So yeah, it's understanding that you running a program. You're not coaching a basketball team. So that's the biggest advice I tell anybody, to make sure that you get all that knowledge.
So what's the most rewarding part? Because I know you can have a dream all you want to, you know what I mean? But once you get there, the reward is probably different than you can even fathom when you're dreaming of it.
The reward to me is my kids signing a scholarship at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, I feel like a lot of coaches lose sight of. A lot of folks worry about wins and losses, and for me, and I told my kids, I'm with me being a young coach, and I may be too honest to a fault, but I'm real with them. I'm like, bro, if I was worried about me, we wouldn't be going up the road, and but we'll be playing folks around here who I know we better than, but that ain't what it's about. It's about me providing you with a proper exposure to change your life. You know what I'm saying? And so the ultimate reward for me is my kids signing a college scholarship and being able to get out of Valdosta, Georgia, and make a life for themselves and a better life for their families. You know, so my philosophy is if I pour into making you the best player in person that you can be, we're gonna be the best team that we can be. You know what I'm saying? And so I pour into each of my players individually, you know what I'm saying, and into their success, into their exposure, into, you know, making sure they have what they need to be the best version of themselves. And in turn, with us being the best team we can be, because you are the best version you can be, the win's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? So if I focus on you, the end game is the same. You know what I'm saying? So that for me it's creating opportunities, man, for these young men to become in and get a life, you know what I'm saying, outside of the city they've been in their whole life.
What's the most frustrating part? Because I know just being around kids, dealing with kids, man, some kids gonna frustrate you. And you're not easily frustrated, but when you get frustrated, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
What is that for you? Or what does that look like now that you're a counselor and a coach?
For me, one of the most frustrating things in dealing with the youth in general is wasted opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's something that haunts me. Wasted talent. You know what I'm saying? The kid who's talented, but he want to be street. You know what I'm saying? The kid who's talented, but he don't want to come to school. He want to smoke dope. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people feel like you have to accept certain things because of the day and time, you know, but at the end of the day, the winning formula is the winning formula. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell my kids all the time, like, bro, if you see this kid that you can touch, and we got to, you know what I'm saying, I like to create a family atmosphere. Like, my old players, they come back in the gym, they talking to them, they playing with them, you know. I make sure they come around so they can touch and feel he's where you want to be. What make you feel like you can do it different than he did? If he had to come to school every day, he had to have a 3.0 GPA, he had to get in the gym at 6 a.m., he had to put up all these extra shots, stay after practice. Why you feel like you don't? Why you feel like you can smoke and party on the weekend versus you seen him? And not saying that you have to be him, but it's a formula to success that you have that you can follow, and you choosing to, you know what I'm saying, stray away from it. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, the biggest letdown is wasted talent, you know, and it's something I have to deal with constantly because of where I am. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that, but that's also why I'm where I am. Because a lot of these kids just don't have anybody telling them. They don't have the guidance. You know what I'm saying? They got young mamas who got, you know what I'm saying, multiple kids, and they just don't have the time, the patience, the resources, you know what I'm saying, to be on you when you 16, 17, and they got this 3rd, 4th, 5th grade who got to get dressed in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I take a lot of value in is like you said, bro, like I've kind of always been that kind of guy. And I tell them, like, bro, I ain't old enough to be your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't your daddy, you know what I'm saying? But we gon' have this level of respect, and you know what I'm saying? You can be like my nephew, you know, so I'm gonna pour into you, bro. I'm gonna be hard on you, you know, but I'm gonna also teach you respect. You know, I'm gonna also teach you the right things. We not friends, so let's not get that confused. You know what I'm saying? We ain't partners. Like, don't bro me, because at the end of the day, you have to understand not only structure, but you know what I'm saying, how to operate in life. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just be the way you want to be in this world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can stand on all 10 in certain situations, but you have to learn how to maneuver if you really want to be successful. If you want to go to college, you know what I'm saying, you can't tell the teacher, I ain't coming today. I mean, you can, but you're not going to pass. They ain't going for them excuses that your mama going to take, you know. So, like I said, I'm tough on my kids, bro, but I love on them harder, you know. So, but yeah, that wasted talent, man, and just not taking heed to the guidance, because there's so many kids out here who don't have the opportunity you have, don't have people who really pouring into them, and you got all of these resources that we providing for you, and you waste it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's the letdown. You know what I'm saying? When they don't take heed to what we trying to show them.
All right, now I'm gonna transition real quick. Did you come from a 2-parent household?
Nah. I mean, not technically, but like I said, I grew up with my grandparents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was able to see, you know what I'm saying, what a successful marriage looks like. They had their ups and downs, you know. My mom did get married. She's divorced. She never married my dad, you know. Right. But I did have a stepdad. They got divorced when I was in high school. You know, so not technically. I grew up, single mom, you know what I'm saying?
So what was the point in your life that made you say, I'm ready? to get married? Was it a point in your life? Was it a situation in your life? Was it your wife? You know what I mean? What was it that was like, I'm ready to get married?
I seen a podcast last week. Somebody was talking, and he said something that was so real, and a lot of people may have taken it as him being rude, but as a man who's married, you understand what he's saying. You are not ready to be married until you're ready to be married. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of things that's gonna go into it, you know, but the bottom line is I'm married because I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I reached a point in my life where I said I want to spend the rest of my life with one person, and you know I was blessed enough to find that person I want to spend the rest of my life with. You know, but it was because it's where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? And so as a man, bro, there's no right or wrong answer to when the time is. It's just like when you know, and it's because you as a man internally have reached that point of this is what I want for me. You know what I'm saying? It's growth, it's maturity, it's being able to having a vision for your life. You know what I'm saying? Just so for me, it's I got to a point of I want peace. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want traffic. You know what I'm saying? Drama. Like once you reach that point, it's like, man, you know you there. You know what I'm saying? It's like being at the top of the mountain and everything kind of clear. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, like I said, I reached that point, and definitely, you know, my wife, like I said, I was blessed enough to meet her, and I kind of knew early on that was somebody who I felt like, you know, I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, you know, and it ended up, she was able to put up with me enough to accept, you know, and so, but yeah, man, it's no, and a lot of bros and friends, they ask me like, bro, like, how you knew you was ready? I can't tell you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really like, when you know, you know.
I mean, I guess I could tell you where that question came from, man.
Okay.
I was brainstorming like, man, I know I'm finna do this podcast with JLee. Man, out of everybody, you know what I'm saying, that bought me in the fraternity, in the chapter, I ain't think you was gonna be the one to, you know what I'm saying, make that jump. And when you did, I was like, damn.
Yeah, like I said, bro, it's really as a man, like you reach a point in when you have to have everything in your life aligned in order for you to truly progress. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get stagnant.
Right.
Just being honest, you're gonna get stagnant, and it's not like you know, a woman makes you who you are or anything like that. You know, but it's, you know, you'll reach a point, and when you know it's like it's time for me to elevate. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? It was focusing, you know what I'm saying, on, you know, I'm ready to build a family and dedicate myself to one person, and, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I say, it's on you. And like I said, when you get there, you know it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really it ain't nothing you're gonna go back and forth about for real. I mean, like I said, it's really just when you know, you know. And like I said, as a man, you reach that point of, you know, it's time for me to be a man.
See, I never had anybody to have those kind of conversations with me because, like I said, I came from a long line of divorce. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I see people cheating, if we being real, doing whatever, and it's like, I always thought, you know, when you find that person. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like I chase a certain image that I have of what I want my wife to be, and I keep chasing and chasing, and you know what I'm saying?
You can't get married before you complete. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like it's half and half. Nah. If you not complete, you can't dedicate yourself to somebody else.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I mean when I say, like, it's on you. Like, once you reach a point of I'm comfortable in who I am, you know what I'm saying, and now it's time for me to elevate my life. That's why I say it that way. Because if you searching for a woman to complete you, what happened when she fuck up? Or what happened when you fuck up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or what happened when, you know what I'm saying, that person, it just don't work. Or they get a job wherever and you like, I ain't moving. You know, so it's, and you'll hear people say all the time, like, love ain't enough, bro.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
say that all the time.
Love ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? It has to be the joining of two lives. You know what I'm saying? And so the combining of two lives. You know, so it's way more than just I enjoy this person, I like this person, they fun. Like, you know, it's, you know, like I said, you have to be whole to be whole for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because just the way you looking for that woman to be, you know what I'm saying, your significant other and to complete your circle. You know what I'm saying? Right. She look for the same thing. So if you not whole and you're not really 100% in what you got going on, it's gonna be very hard for you to be successful in a marriage. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? I used to always say, well, hell, I still say it. If and when I get married, bro, all I want to know is the time, the place, the color, what we gonna drink, and what we gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I always say that shit, bro. But how was planning your wedding? Because I know you like to say, I don't put on events, I put on experiences. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you straight up. The only thing I stood 10 toes on was food. The food, you know what I'm saying? OC was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? It was the food. We had to rock out on that. Honestly, going into it, I was standing 10 toes on not doing it outside. I had always said my whole life, I ain't never get married outside.
Because of the weather.
Because of the weather. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be hot. I don't want to be cold. You know what I'm saying? So, but we had to we made a sacrifice. You know, she wanted to do it like New Year's Eve or something like that. And I was like, bro, you are crazy. I'm not getting married outside on New Year's Eve. Are you nuts?
Cold,
you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I tell you what, we move it up, we can do it outside. And it was, you know what I'm saying, the perfect time of year. You know, it was fall. So, but that was really about it. But like the outside thing, the food, you know what I'm saying, I got a real close-knit family. So my grandma and my mama had a crazy list. I broke it down, you know what I'm saying? But I had to put my foot down on, you know what I'm saying, like, we gotta, you know, divvy it up this way. And to be honest, I was wrong. Because a lot of them folks with my grandma and mom put on the list didn't come. You know what I'm saying? So I had to eat that L, you know. But that was one thing I stood firm on. But for me, bro, I ain't really care. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. It was a one-time experience, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a lot that it wasn't really I mean, it was, you know what I'm saying, my day, but I ain't really, you know, it was what it was. You know, I let her make a lot of those decisions.
But yeah, man, so what was your favorite part about your wedding?
Shit, I was clean. Shout out to my boy, JLee. You know what I'm saying? Munir Bespoke. I was cleaner than a motherfucker. I'm just bullshit. But no, dead ass though. Like, I was clean. You know what I'm saying? My dog got me right. You know, yeah. But
custom suit,
custom tux. You know what I'm saying? Like from the fabric, like custom fabric, like.
So he laid out the fabric for you.
He laid out the fabrics. You know what I'm saying? He pieced it together. Like we talked about what I wanted. And
it's hard.
Yeah, you know, but also, obviously, you know, you get that moment, you know what I'm saying, when you're walking down the aisle and, you know, I joke all the time. I'm like, bro, I didn't cry because I had my contacts in. Anybody that wear contacts, no, they dry your eyes out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I was crying inside, you know, but we did our vows. That was honestly my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Our vows, her vows was pretty fire. You know what I'm saying? She said she wanted to, you know, give me the same type of love that they sing about in the 90s R&B songs. You know what I'm saying? So that was hard. That was a bar. You feel me? So, but that was probably honestly the vows they were real. You know, so but yeah, that, you know, the fellowship. You know, so it was a good day.
You know, I'm gonna call you out because I ain't getting no damn invite. But you know, of course I. Don't look like that.
Okay.
Don't look like that.
Okay, first and foremost,
I understand.
Why? Because you was supposed to be overseas. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. It was what it was. I you know.
I was supposed to be overseas, and I didn't let too many people know I wasn't going because of the situation.
I feel that.
However, it's the thought that counts, nigga. You could have been like. Shit. Yeah, I know you're supposed to be overseas, but if you still here, you know what I'm saying, I would love to great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But bro, that was really it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, we definitely had a lot of talk, you know what I'm saying, with you, you know, after graduation, and, you know, we was shit, you came and got me out of the motherfucking ditch.
I did.
You came and got me out of the ditch. You know?
Boy, it was rain as hell.
Right, it was raining hard as hell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I had the hydroplane for everybody. You know, I was playing on 75, and he came and got me. You know what I'm saying? That was a near
Mind
death
you,
experience.
This nigga lied. He said, bro, I'm like 5 exits away. Motherfucker was like 45 minutes.
That shit was crazy. I drive every day. Every time I drive 75 past that exit, I think about, damn, I almost died right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
yeah, it looked crazy when we got there.
Yeah,
too.
It was nuts. But yeah, I definitely if I knew you was gonna be there, you definitely would have had your invite for sure.
Nah, it's all good. I already know what was going on, man. I was supposed to be gone. Question: if you had 3 wishes right now, what would they be? And I know you're a real realistic kind of guy, but like if you could have 3 wishes, what would they be?
My first wish would be to have infinite wishes.
This guy. That's cheating.
It's not cheating.
Go
You asked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
fair. Go ahead.
So my first wish would be to have infinite wishes for sure. You know what I'm saying? My second wish would be I would want to have enough money that I could make sure my whole family never needed money again. And I say that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, man, money, bro, I don't care what you say, bro. Money can buy you happiness. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I got a lot of money, bro,
I feel
I'm
good.
very happy. You know what I'm saying? But miss me with that. But yeah, that would be second. And third, I would wish that I had the power to make our education system truly equal for all kids. And I say that because, a lot of the opportunities, and we have, don't get me wrong, I'm not a type person who is a race baiter or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the opportunities that our young black kids aren't afforded is because the education system isn't the same for all. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the money for private schools. A lot of I feel like, to be honest, a lot of politicians want the public school system to fail because the public school system is filled with young black kids. So I feel like, with the proper resources and opportunities, a lot of these kids who grow up in these low SES areas, could create a lot more opportunity for themselves, if they had the proper resources, and I truly feel like our public school system is failing to a certain extent at providing those kids with the proper resources, so I would wish that all kids had equal opportunity through education.
Do you think if teachers got paid more, the resources would be more available, or
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that we would have more highly qualified and dedicated teachers if they were paid more. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people who are smart and come out summa cum laude, things like that, why would they go into education and get paid pennies? Well, they can go into tech and get paid millions. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we definitely, if teachers were paid more, a lot more people would be interested in education. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like people hate kids, you know what I'm saying, because they have their own. You know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like a lot of people don't see the value in being an educator because it's like, I'm not getting paid. I got to deal with other folks' kids. You know what I'm saying? Versus, like you said, if you truly pay educators what they worth, you know what I'm saying? Every career in the world stems from a teacher. Like, you can't be anything in life
unless you're taught.
You know what I'm saying? So, for the doctors who making 6 figures and the entertainers and the everybody, a teacher had to get them through that K-12.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, the people who are really the backbone of society of an advanced society are kind of put on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? And not really appreciated. So. Yeah, I definitely wish that that the opportunity was equal, and I definitely feel like teachers are underpaid and undervalued. The mother of all professions.
That's true. So, could you see yourself progressing out of a counselor role to like a principal or a superintendent?
I am. This coaching journey is not going to be long. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think you want to coach for a long time?
Nah, it's my dream. I'm living it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that it's finite. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying it. I'm loving what I'm doing. You know, but the money in education is is being a principal. You know what I'm saying? Being a superintendent, being, et cetera. So and I started back. I got back in school last year prior to me getting a head coaching job to get my degree to be a principal. And I took a break to pay for the wedding and all of that. But I'm starting back in the fall, and I'll be done in the summer, next summer. So coaching is I'm living my dream. I'm doing what I said I was gonna do. But for me, I'm the type of person I always have a plan. And so this road is not gonna be. It's gonna be sufficient to where I felt like I gave it everything I had, but I already see what my next act is going to be, and it's going to be being a principal and probably opening private practice as a counselor. So I still be able to do what I want to do on the side as a licensed professional counselor, but also, being a principal.
So you got goals you want to reach before you leave this coaching along? I know how you are, man.
Yeah, I mean, I want to reach top of the mountain. I want a state championship, and I feel like here I'm doing what it takes to build that, and I feel like this year we have a chance of doing that, So yeah, I want to be the best. I mean, I don't want to settle for a region championship or which those things are great. Those are nice accolades to have, but I want to be the man. I want to be the one. I'm not shooting, what I'm saying, for the moon. Like, I want to be the one. I'm shooting for the stars, shooting for the sun, So I want to hold up the big one.
So I know y'all got another game coming up, so I ain't going to keep you too much longer. If you could leave the people with one quote and explain that quote, what would it be? Now, don't look at your posters, brother. Yeah, I caught your ass off guard.
Yeah. The thing I tell my players all the time, it's not about how bad you want something. It's about how hard you're willing to work for it. So a lot of people, and it kind of means with, I don't know, I got a speech that's posted on my Twitter is, the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. It's kind of tied together, man. A lot of people have these dreams and goals and ambitions, and they want these things, but they're not doing what it takes to get them. You know what I'm saying? And in life, like I said, there ain't no elevator to success. You got to take the stairs. So you can want something all you want to, but are you willing to do what it takes and willing to work as hard as you need to work to obtain it? You know what I'm saying? And so that's something I live by. It's not about how bad you want something, but how hard you're willing to work for it. Because a lot of times, if you put the work in, you plant the seeds. You know what I'm saying? The fruit gonna grow. So definitely. Yeah. So all those dreams, man. Everybody dream. Everybody dream at night. But the hustle to go out and get it to make that dream come true, that's separately. You got to buy that. You got to buy that with time. You got to buy that with effort. You got to buy that with dedication. You got to buy that with determination, with perseverance. You know what I'm saying? Facing adversity. So are you willing to spend it and buy that hustle and put it in so that you can see that dream come true? So yeah, it's not how bad you want something. It's about how hard you're willing to work for it.
Hey, that's real, man. But I appreciate you for letting me come down here to your house, you know what I'm saying, and shoot this podcast, man. And I really love how you gave a quote that not only you weren't just talking, you live by it.
Yeah.
And I know that because, like I said, you've been my role model for a long time, and I've been applying that to everything that I do. So I really appreciate you, man. We're going to get in here and watch our catch this dub over Brooks County. Sorry, D-Love. You know what I'm saying? But let's get it. Appreciate you, brother.
For sure, bro. Appreciate you having me.